Hey, what's happening, y'all? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, as always, we're diving deep and keeping it real, so do me a favor, kick back, please stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. That's right, my friends. As always, thank you so much for taking 1 hour of your precious time to tune into yet another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show. This is episode 296, very close to 300. And yes, time flies. I feel like it was just last week. I feel like it was just yesterday that I was starting up this program, and now with the growth and the fan base we're starting to, we're continuing to encounter and to bring in. I'm really fortunate and blessed, and I want to continue to let's continue on that great conversation, right? We want to keep you informed, we want to keep you entertained. Within this next hour, we're going to give you some trending stories that's occurring around our world, locally, nationally, and stuff that's even really important just to know, what's going on in the culture, right? So yeah, look, as always, the Arrington Gavin Show comes to you weeknights, Monday through Fridays. Okay, Monday through Fridays. On wherever you prefer. If you prefer to listen to us, there's multiple avenues you can do so to tune in. You can tune in via podcast. We're available on all podcast platforms. You can also listen to us on the radio airwaves. You can listen to reruns of the program on the radio airwaves of WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk out in the Metro Atlanta area. We're so honored to be a part of their amazing station, that growing talk radio station. And yeah, be sure to tune in Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on WDJY 99.1 FM. Also, if you more of a visual person, look, multiple ways you can check us out. You can check us out by subscribing to our channels on our channel on YouTube as well as Rumble, and you can watch us on demand on Goatverse TV. So honored to be a part of this amazing network. It's free, so if you go on your local, if you go on your App Store or Google Play Store, you can also download it through Roku and Amazon Fire. That's right, on Amazon Fire. So it's free, no hidden fees, none of that stuff. You can tune in to the program and yeah, give you some great content. I'm joining with some amazing content creators and personalities on Goatverse TV. It's a growing network. Please support great independent media. Support this amazing platform. As I mentioned, it's easy to to tune into their shows. It's free, no hidden fees. So if you have an iPhone, then go to your app store and please download Goatverse TV right now. If you happen to have an Android, then go to your Google Play Store right now and download. If you have Roku, if you have Amazon Fire, download this channel, download this app. It's awesome. I'm honored to be a part of it. And yeah, continue to support. Also, last thing I want to mention, social media platforms. Do me a favor. Follow us on our social media platforms. You can find us at the Arrington Gavin Show on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, and Substack. All right. Okay, y'all. Let's get this going. So check this out. I get to experience a first in my life this week. I get to attend a masquerade ball. I've never attended. I've attended so many galas, so many functions in my lifetime. I've never attended a masquerade event. So I ended up finding out that I was going to be attending this, and I looked at my wife. I'm like, wait a minute, we don't have a mask. We're over here trying to look on Amazon. What's going to be the turnaround time? It's going to arrive on the day of the event. Well, let's get that just to play it safe. But what stores can we go and get it? Right? Party City is for closing. They're closing down for good. they're wiped out. They don't have any mask. And we're fortunate to have a local spot here in the Hampton Roads area that is strictly, year round. It's costumes, but it's a year round spot. We have a few like pop up, Halloween stores that will appear in vacant spaces, but we have literally just one spot in the Hampton Roads area, and they have costumes, they have masquerade masks, they got everything. It's so big. It was my first time in it, and I was like a kid in the candy store. I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. So I found some masks for my wife and I, and I'm excited to attend this awesome event. It's going to be for a great cause. It's actually a UNCF event, United Negro College Fund. So it's a fundraising event that will be raising money for our HBCUs and our African American students out there for because we gotta make sure we guide them in the right direction with when it comes to education. So I'm very very excited to um I'm excited to be a part of this and to run into many friends. Actually, a friend of the show, Sabrina Brown, host of Girlfriends Tea. She's going to be co-emceeing this awesome event along with another gentleman who, don't get me lying, but she's one of the co-MCs for this event. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this function. And also I was, not just struggling looking for a masquerade mask, but I was also struggling trying to find an outfit because the way see I've been in the gym, right? I will say I've been, my wife and I, we've been very active. We've been very, precise and strict with our diet and exercise, taking care of our body, right? And so I had this beautiful tux once, and I might have bought it like 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and I was wearing it, here and there, and throughout when time goes by, I'm like, ooh, this start getting a little snug, start getting a little snug, start getting a snug. Man, the last time I put it on, I'm like, if I sit down, we gonna have a problem. So that I brought to my attention that okay, Arrington, you might have to get a new tux because man, you can't be stuffing yourself like a freaking, I looked like a when people make sausage and sometimes sausage is bursting in certain hole, like that's how I want to like a stuffed pig. So yeah, I end up going shopping, getting another one. Obviously, I need to get it tailored, but I end up going with another suit that I've already had or another tux that I have in my closet because I got loads of clothes. By the way, I have way too many. Actually, I'm in need of cleaning out my closet, but I'm all taken care of. So thank you, God, for that. But I know you all have that same situation where it's like it's a function that you might hear about it last minute, or you just think that you're good. And then, like, when it gets to the week of the event, you're like, oh, I need to get this. Oh, I need to get that. Where am I going to do this? And you start panicking. And then that's the kind of stuff I was having. But everything is A OK. Everything is A OK. What else do we got going on? What else do we got going on? I think that's pretty much it. I think that's it. I'm always up to kind of catch you up what's happening in my life. Like I was very blessed, very hard working. We're getting ready for our second annual. We have so many events, through our foundation, the Revolution Foundation. We have our a Toast to Mom event happening the Saturday before Mother's Day. I'm honored to have some amazing talent within the local area. We have a few musical acts. We have a couple of comedians that's going to be hitting the stage, and I'm just excited. I'm just excited. We do a lot of local events in the area, and all the proceeds will go, towards our foundation, which caters to helping our youth in Hampton Roads. And so we just been staying busy, y'all. We just been staying busy. But all right, enough about me. Enough about me. Let's before we go, let me go ahead and shout out some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Ingenious Gin. That's right, my friends. Looking for a spirit as bold and refined as you. Introducing Ingenious Gin, crafted with precision, infused with exotic botanicals, and balanced for the perfect sip every time. Whether you're savoring it neat or mixing the ultimate gin and tonic, or shaking up a classic cocktail, Ingenious Gin is your ticket to a moment of pure sophistication. Experience ingenuity in every drop. Find Ingenious Gin at your favorite store, or you can shop online by going to ingeniousgin.com. Do me a favor, please drink responsibly. You have to be 21 or older to purchase this amazing brand that is veteran owned and black owned. It is smooth. I've never been a gin connoisseur or gin fan ever until I had Ingenious Gin, and I'm like, wow, you've caught my attention. So I will forever be a supporter of them, just like how they are being a supporter of the Arrington Gavin show, and I want to thank them for being a proud supporter of the program. All right, my friends, look, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll start off with our fun fact of the day, and then we're going to get it going with some of these topics. So without further ado, we'll be right back. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin show. Do not go anywhere.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
Don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In Goats, we trust.
What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. Let's get it going with our tradition we love to start it off with to, kind of get the juices flowing. We're going to have our fun fact of the day. That's right. Fun fact of the day. All right, my friends, on today's fun fact, did you all know that the teddy bear was named after a president? That president was Theodore Roosevelt. Inspired the name teddy bear after refusing to shoot a bear cub while hunting. So teddy bear was named after a president. Never knew. I remember Teddy Roosevelt, but yes, fun fact. It was named after a president. Now, here's another funny thing. I don't know if you probably have known this. I don't feel bad, but I'm not proud that I found out about this after seeing multiple commercials of this teddy bear. Do y'all know Trump has a bear called Trumpy Bear? Yeah, Trumpy Bear. I think that's another thing that annoys me with Trump is that all the memorabilia, all the merch. Like, I get it. When you see, trust me, Obama has tons of different merch. Why? Because I know my parents probably consumed a good number of them. And I'm over exaggerating. I mean, they might have had they might have collected like magazines of like the big night, stuff like that. Stuff that are collectors. But you have your bobbleheads, you have your your obviously your t-shirts, your hats, this and that and the other. And it's just it starts to go overboard, in my opinion. Trumpy Bear, you're doing too much. Like, who the hell is buying a Trumpy Bear? Like, talk about brainwashing your children and saying this is the president that changed your life. Trumpy Bear, Trumpy Bear, Trumpy Bear. I don't think it danced or anything. It's just a teddy bear, literally with the little comb over and a suit. And yeah, I don't even know if it has to it might have to make America great again. I don't know, but that just came to mind when I heard in teddy bear and president in the same sentence. It made me think of that when I saw that commercial. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're about to make me puke. Moving on. So, guess who's back in the news? criticizing somebody that she has criticized for probably 20 years by now. It feels like it's been forever, and she's turned into a career. And it's like every time I want to like accept her and bring her back in and just give her a hug and be like, okay, I want to check out some of her shows, or just, it's like I want to support. I don't want to dislike, but it's like you give me no choice, Monique. I'm talking about comedian, NAACP award winning and Oscar winning actress, comedian Monique, known from the hit TV show The Parkers. Monique has had a whirlwind of events that occurred in her career. I hate to kind of backtrack, kind of give you the whole timeline, but it's like I have to. I want to. So, she had won an Oscar for, well, even before that, Monique had a successful sitcom called The Parkers. When it came to the culture, especially in the Black community, you had your popular sitcom shows like Moesha, Fresh Prince. I mean, when you had your top Black sitcoms, best believe the Parkers were on that list. They were on that list. And this was a spinoff from the show Moesha that starred Brandy Norwood. And this was Monique's show. Monique was, at the time, she was one of the rising stars on the comedic stage. She was a big girl. She embraced her big, her thickness, her size for big women and stuff. She hosted the BT Awards twice that were memorable because she made, she did these mimicked Beyonce. I mean, it was just she made into films. She was up there. Then she was fortunate to receive a role playing in Precious. She won an Oscar for, and then after that, she was like, I think, the first Black female to host a late night show, if I'm not mistaken, late night talk show. And from there, all hell broke loose. She had criticized Oprah Winfrey, she criticized Lee Daniels, and she criticized Tyler Perry. 3 people in the Black community that just like you don't want to F with. And not saying like they're like the mafia or anything, but they were powerful individuals that the Black community loved. They loved all the work that Lee Daniels put out. They loved everything that Tyler Perry stood for. They love Oprah. I mean, what is there else to say? This lady was criticizing, and not even that, she started to criticize companies and individuals, saying that, hey, they're not giving me what I'm worth. And don't get me wrong, I so agree that people should fight for what they're worth, but you also have to add realism to it. During a period, you had on Netflix, you had Dave Chappelle, Chris Rock, Amy Schumer. Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, I think Chris Rock might have signed like a $43 million deal. That was one of the like first times that I've witnessed, these large deals, sums of money going to, comedians or actors, this and that and the other. And so you had, 43 million going to Chris Rock. You had 65 million going to Dave Chappelle. You had maybe 20 million or some change going to Amy Schumer. Monique was like, hold the hell up. I was off for 6 figures. And I want to protest. I want to boycott Netflix because for color bias and gender bias. Because she's saying if they can get this much, I should get, the same as them. And that's where everybody's like, slow your roll, Mo. Don't get me wrong. You are an iconic figure in the entertainment world. But, Netflix is known to blessing people with these big money contracts that is currently successful, currently selling out arenas, currently selling out the box office, currently at the top. Now, Dave Chappelle is just that guy that's like, he's going to be at the top regardless. He's a controversial figure. He, it was at the time, that was like his first specials coming out in a long, long time. So of course they gave him a lot of money. Same for Chris Rock. Now, I could debate the whole Amy Schumer. I'm just a little biased. I don't think Amy Schumer is like that funny. Like a lot of some of her, I think her movies to me are kind of corny. I mean, I'm not like a diehard. Oh, I love Amy Schumer. When if a movie came out with Amy Schumer, I'm not gonna be like rushing to go, and I might not even see it. I don't dislike her. I just don't find her that funny. All right. And to explain myself, I just feel as though like her comedy skills are pretty common for like white blondes on stage. I'm sorry, and I'm coming from somebody who like I'm a huge Chelsea Handler fan. Chelsea Handler has her own lane, her own style. I feel like I feel like Amy Schumer kind of mimics certain people. That's just me. But anyway, um, so Monique was fierce about that. Then she called out Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and said they can both suck my, like, I mean, she was really going after me. I think again, not underpaid and saying like because of those figures they've blackballed me in Hollywood and now I can't get gigs and this and the other, and how she she thought she was going to be receiving higher praise and more business after winning an Oscar. And in I would agree with her on that one. You would assume that you get you don't no need to audition. You get all the all the roses and the red carpet pulled to you with all these time. That's how it's supposed to be. But apparently it's different. And I'm not gonna say it's different for it probably is different for black actresses. Especially in Hollywood, man, they have a certain type. They really have a certain type, and and it's just Monique should have seen a difference. But some folks have said Monique is hard to work with. Some folks have said Monique and her husband are just hard to work with. Right? She's obviously disputed that. But to me, I just feel as though she's been playing this blame game and sad tour and calling folks out forever, and it's just like, Mo, let your work do the talking. You keep on doing, like, she went everywhere she went to. It was like on and on with Tyler this, Tyler that, Oprah that, and it was like, you're killing me. You're killing me. So fast forward, she had her more recent appearances she had was on Club Shay Shay. And it was a great interview. I will say it was moments where of course I didn't agree with her, but it was moments I was like saying, okay, you know what? I understand. Like Tyler was, he apologized. He apologized to her, and she has the recording and everything. Like she really took it serious. And so I'm like, you want to see your, people, your own folks succeed. And I never wanted her to not succeed, but I just thought sometimes business strategy wise she was playing it wrong. She was playing it wrong in my opinion. But I was happy to see, hey, she got a film with BET Plus. She reunited with Lee Daniels and doing some projects with them. She had a special on Netflix that was not that good. I'm sorry. There was no mentioning how much she was paid for that special, but it was not good in my opinion. It was more like a one woman show, kind of like entertainment kind of thing, and she was storytelling. It really wasn't stand up in my opinion. But you're thinking of like, okay, she's done with all the calling out other people. She's moved on from it, whatever. Well, apparently that is not the case. Well, apparently she's like, hey, look, I need to be more relevant. I need to be relevant again. And so what's the easiest thing to say? Let me talk more about Tyler Perry. So recently Tyler Perry has spoke at Angie Stone's funeral, the iconic and legendary neo soul R&B artist who had recently passed from a car accident at the age of, I want to say she was 63. I believe she was 63. Still a lot of life, beautiful voice, and to a lot of those that have spoke about it, just beautiful individual. And so Tyler Perry has spoken on this stage, and let me actually read this. This is reported by the Griot, and it said that, if I can find his quote, okay, Tyler Perry's eulogy addressed the industry's mistreatment of Stones while she was alive. And I quote, it says, "I'm angry at the way she was treated. Sharing he held only recently been made aware of the challenges Stone faced in recouping money owed to her, by her record label. He also mentioned to think that this woman was in the business for all these years, all those songs, all of that money that was owed to her. Where is it? It's wrong. Now, obviously, a lot of folks praised him for saying that because Tyler Perry has such a huge platform. He's the founder and he owns outright his own film studios in Atlanta. His films have garnered millions and millions, maybe even billions. He's a billionaire. And so Tyler Perry is up there, right? When it comes to Black Hollywood, the Black elites. And so they knew, okay, if this was Tyler Perry saying this, come on, the kind of power he has with his voice. Now, here's what Monique didn't like that, because Monique is like, hold up, sounds a bit hypocrisy there. Says here that, let me see if I can find what she said. She said, "Dear Tyler Perry, I recently watched your heartfelt speech at Angie Stone's funeral, where you expressed frustration over her mistreatment by the music industry. It struck me and my husband Sydney," because she's gonna mention about her husband Sydney, "as poignant, but also made us reflect on some unsettling discrepancies in your action towards me. You expressed anger over Angie's mistreatment, yet you labeled me difficult to work with. Despite never having worked with me," she continued, asking the filmmaker how he could condemn the poor treatment of others when reportedly imposing the same treatment on her. Now, here's where I got to pause right here, because does Monique have a point? Yes, but Monique, clear as day, said that Tyler Perry apologized. Like, you would think she will move on. At least that's how it looked after having the Club Shay Shay interview. But no, she hasn't gave up on that. She wants to continue to push this out and call. Like, that's the pettiness that I think that annoys me with Monique. And I've been in the same room with her. I've gone to functions where she received awards and had interesting speeches. And I hope one day to meet her. I hope one day to have her on this program. I really do. I just think there's certain ways to voice opinions. There's certain ways to say, okay, look, she could have said something like this: "Kudos to you, Tyler, for for saying this. I know we've had our differences in the past, and hey, I'm honored that you apologize, and I'm glad you are speaking up for this, because it's like, that's to him probably I'm just saying, give him more flowers, but don't continue to bring each other down, because she's always here to say, my baby's my brother, my sister. Oh, I do it with love. This is what love, because that's my brother right there. You can't say that crap and then take an individual down, because trust me, those words are trying to bring his character, trying to revoke fan base from from folks watching. I mean, seriously, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. That's how I roll. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. What? Here's the thing right here. Monique was playing the blame game throughout her career. This lady has won NAACP awards. She's won Oscars, and she continued to play the blame game for her entire career. Miss Stone, by chance, had literally made, I'm gonna say, 1 to 2 public appearances speaking on the mistreatment happening in, from her as far as royalties. But guess what? That happens with everybody, even in the music industry. So many, Monique thinks she's the first one. So many individuals have mistreated actresses, actors, people of color. Record labels are full of it. You hear musicians now when they're on the award stage saying, hey, look, I'm calling my record label out. I think I'm gonna go independent because I already have my fan base. Let me just go in. Like, it's just people, their strategy is a lot different. To me, Monique is just, it gets old. It gets old. Let me see. Let me see here. Uh, She went on to list her grievances towards Perry in a post caption. In addition to exposing his actions, Monique demanded that he follow through on the public apology he alleged promised her in 2006. Okay, so it was an alleged public apology. This is not the first time Monique has publicly criticized Perry. In 2017, the actress called out Perry, Lee Daniels, and Oprah, as I mentioned, during a comedy show. In 2020, she doubled down on those claims, demanding Perry tell the truth in a public apology. Daniels and Monique has reconciled in 2022. Daniels publicly apologized to Monique for hurting her. The false narrative you perpetrate helped blackball me, costing me tens of millions of dollars. I beg to differ that. Where's the restitution for that? You mentioned being tired of us receiving the benefits we deserve, yet you asked me to promote Precious for free without a contract or compensation. It's like I'm so back and forth, because I will say I was more against Monique than ever, just because I was more on the lines of, man, if you think you gonna receive the same salary as a Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, you gotta I mean, and then, like I said, you have that special out and it was garbage. I'm sorry. It was not that good. In my opinion. Other people probably beg to differ. And I watched the whole thing. I'll probably watch it again. Because I'm just that person. I want to support. Regardless. And I'm not saying Monique is a bad person. Like I said, I don't know her. I'm just saying I think it's different ways that she could go around from doing this. Like I said, let your work do the talking. You have a resume of this. You like, why would somebody say you're difficult to work with? Why would somebody, why? There's always a reason behind everything. There's always a reason behind when stuff starts. If they're jealous of you, why would they be jealous of you? Is this whole thing started because they asked to, travel around the world for free to promote Precious? I mean, yes, it's costly to travel out of the country to promote a film, especially the hours that you have to put in. And you're saying you're not receiving anything, not even room compensation. Like, I mean, it's a lot. But you know what I always say, y'all? Stop thinking about transactions and think about the relationships. We struggle a lot within our community on transactions and not relationships. The difference between the two is a transaction will happen just like that. It will come and go in a matter of seconds. A relationship, you can have multiple transactions within that relationship. You can have multiple investments. You can have so many other projects within that relationships. Build great relationships and then focus on the transaction another time. But look, it's a touchy subject because we live in a world where people are not paid fair wages. So it can be a difficult topic. Yeah, I don't know about this. Let me read in closing. Yeah, now she quoting scripture. So it says here, Monique had mentioned in closing, I hope your words. And first of all, if she got all this time to write a whole chapter book of stuff on social media, what did I say right there? I'm close. And this is a girl too that's made some off the wall stuff that she shouldn't have said publicly. I think about DL and his family that actually hurt a relationship with him and his daughter. I mean, like she's really been going off the wall with certain ruining relationships. That's a whole nother story. But she says here in closing, I hope your words at Angie's funeral inspires you to correct the wrongs done to my family and me. You have the power to do so. As you shared biblically teachings, please remember, what will it profit a man to gain the whole world but lose his soul? Mark 8:36. We await your response. I mean, Lord, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Monique gonna take this to the grave. She gonna keep on calling out these folks, man. I'm just like, you do you. You do you. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Let me take another commercial break, man. When we come back, we'll have some more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Do not go anywhere. You are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show.
You know, just like a winning team evolves throughout the season, so does your beard. I'm Arrington Gavin, proud CEO of Rugged Evolution Beard Care. With our premium oils, balms, and grooming tools, it's everything you need to level up your beard game. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a rookie, Rugged Evolution is the new smooth. Order now and dominate the beard game like never before. Rugged Evolution Beard Care, because every beard deserves to be.
Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to the show. So next up on the chopping block, I don't know if y'all have heard this recently, but these is been spoken on the our news cycle as well as in sports. So the DOD, Department of Defense, scrapes then reinstates Jackie Robinson's tribute amid of DEI purge. This is reported by Politico. Says here, as I read this in contents, give me 1 second. A Defense Department article honored the military legacy of baseball legend Jackie Robinson. Briefly joined the ranks of disparate tributes to historic figures looted, foreshadowing race and gender-based barriers amid of a broader effort to wipe out all traces of diversity, equity, and inclusion across the federal government. Now, a tribute to Robinson, renowned for breaking barriers throughout the Major League Baseball color barrier in 1947, disappeared from the DOD's website, but was restored later in the afternoon. That's a bunch of bull. But let me go ahead and play you this soundbite, and then we'll talk on the other side about this. Give me 1 second, because I have a lot to say in regards to this. But hold tight, my friends.
Defense Department igniting a firestorm after pulling a webpage dedicated to baseball icon Jackie Robinson. Why was the page taken down, and what's happened now? Here's our senior political correspondent, Rachel Scott, tonight.
Tonight, the Pentagon sparking outrage after removing from its website a story celebrating the Army record of American icon.
Sorry about that. I don't want to, force your guys' ears to bleed on that. Okay, so let me go ahead and come out of that one. But like I said, I have this article right here, so let me read it more. That's Lord staying up. Arrington, you gotta read. You gotta read more. Let me go ahead and read more. Give me a second as I pull up my notes. So, okay, the article chronicles Robinson's military service during World War II, when he served in the 761st Black Panthers Tank Battalion, and notes that he was court-martialed but eventually acquitted after refusing to move to the back of an army bus in 1944. He received an honorable discharge later that year. Now, his legacy disappeared from the Defense Department's website recently, and apparent casualty of its efforts to erase anything that could be perceived as diversity, equity, and inclusion under the Trump administration. Here's why I'm pissed. Because they literally said, all right, take everything down that's black. Anything that's colored, take it down. Oh, wait. What's name was that again? Jackie Robinson? Oh, we can't say. Like, what is your guys' problem? And see, once again, job well done, Mr. Pete Hegseth. Do y'all remember that? Do you remember that guy? Pete Hegseth? Yeah. The former Fox News host, weekend guy, I think it was. The weekend host, Pete Hegseth. Who also, I guess, gets away with a lot of stuff. Apparently, he can't keep his mouth away from the juice at sometimes. But let me stop. But here's my issue. Here's my issue with this. Everything that we are witnessing under this administration right now is to wipe out, to not include, to divide, to make one race as basically nobodies, and to embrace the other side, to destroy, the poor working class folks, to build up the wealthy, like they need more money, right? Like, how dumb can your administration be to literally say, "Oh, we were doing this. It was a casualty because we're doing this purge right now. We're doing all this wipeout because that looks like diversity, equity, inclusion." I tell you, man, y'all really can't. And you know what? And I'm a huge. I even tell you this. I'm a huge Bill Maher fan. I disagree with him a couple times in his stance with the DEI. I mean, people make DEI as a joke, right? DEI is meant to build up the community. Is meant to build up, because here's the thing y'all gotta realize. Why was this started in the first place? That's the question I want to leave y'all, and I want y'all to do your homework and think hard. Why was DEI created? Why was it created? Let's see here. It says here that the Defense Department said it would not highlight the history of the notable services members like Robinson or other heroes, including the Navajo Code Talkers, the Tuskegee Airmen, and the Ari Hayes. They said they will not highlight the Tuskegee Airmen, one of the flag-raising Marines of Iwo Jima, I think I pronounced that right, which have also disappeared from the military's website. So you're telling me, so again, Make America Great Again, they are wiping away history. They are wiping away American history, y'all. American history. They're just saying, no, we're not doing this no more. Wow. On the basis of their race, ethnicity, and sex, critics have said that these deletions basically amount to a haphazard purge of information about anyone who was not a white male. You think? I mean, I don't understand why you got these experts saying, well, it looks like by the looks of it, it looks like they're trying to wipe out everybody that is not white. What? What? I knew that from the get-go. All right. And you know what? It does interest me, the fact that we do have, when I see moments like this, it continues to make the job harder, not just for GOP members, but for Black GOP members, for Black Trump supporters, in my opinion, which I will have a few of them on. Look, I know them. I consider them friends, right? I respect people's opinions and values, and, hey, we agree to disagree, but this has to be hard, because how can you continue to represent an individual? And I always, I know when people say, well, let's focus on policy and not really the person. But how can you? Because obviously, depending on that person, it will affect the policy that they're going to be putting out. All right. Now, the main thing that's Trump's priority is money and power. Those are his main thing, is money and power. That's all he cares about. I can't speak for any other, politician or candidate, whatever is who's thinking about running or whatnot. But I get tired when I do hear and look, at some point I do agree to an extent to, hey, look, policy, just whoever has the best policy, go with them. I get it, but in a case like this, if the individual is going to cause harm and division, and in my, like I said, harm to the society, like, you have to say something. You have to say something. You can't just ignore the fact that what he's doing is like literally ruining history. Look, African American history is American history. Bump celebrating it for 1 month. I celebrate it every day. That's why I try to do, the Black Excellence Report here on the program, because we should celebrate excellence every day, especially, as a Black male. I celebrated black excellence every day because I know there was a time, and there still is. Look, I can go to certain parts and I'm going to get judged. I'm going to be disrespected because of the complexion of my skin, the color of my skin. Whether if it's in corporate America, whether if it's a labor worker, whether if I'm just visiting a town or a store or anything like that, I will be judged. I know it's going to exist, like for any other culture, and it's a shame because we should live in a non-judgmental judgmental society, but we do. This thing got me hot, man. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Where am I? Okay, but the administration is the Pentagon's administration is limited to the service members' patriotism and dedication, just like every other American who has worn the uniform now. Although the historical figures all have been acclaimed for their persistence in service despite obstacles related to their gender, race, or ethnicity, one of them emphasized that the Pentagon would not view or highlight them through the prism of immutable characteristics, and that doing so through DEI would consist a form of woke culture Marxism. I can't read any more of this, man. That right there, that frustrates me. That frustrates the hell out of me. Let's move it on. What do I want to do? How much? We're gonna take it over to Texas. Let's go and take it over to Greg Abbott's state of Texas. All my exes live in Texas. I'm joking. I don't have any exes that live in Texas. I like Texas though. Texas, nice state, good food. I like it. A lot of great stuff happening in Texas. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's a red state, but who really gives a flying? You know what? So let me go ahead and where's my stuff at? Greg, oh, here we go. See, this is why I can't wait when we make it big, y'all. I can have a larger staff to help me with some of this stuff, because I'm like, I'm 30 now, so I'm always like, I'm joking. I can see some people older than like, you got to be kidding me. Shut up, Arrington. Shut it up. So, Republican governor of the state of Texas, Greg Abbott, had said that Texas has a stronger brand than New York as Wall Street looks south, which, look, a lot of folks are going to Texas. We have Silicon Valley wanting to, moving to Texas or pursuing Texas. We have, like, a lot of the big the comedy scene moving to Texas. Everybody want to move to Texas. It's affordable. The weather's great. You got great food. You got decent sports organization. Like, it's nothing bad in Texas. You got hella. It's big. It's big. But I thought this was interesting when I read about this. This is an article reported by CNBC. It says that Texas is continuing to stake a claim as a rival to Wall Street as key financial hub in the United States with Governor Greg Abbott. He recently said that they have a stronger brand than New York, and I'm curious on that brand. I think it's because you got one side that, hey, they're big on guns, kind of like the F around and find out. If you come here to Texas, that's the kind of state they roll. It's big, but it's not as it's not as compact and busy like New York. Living is very affordable. If you are a multimillionaire, you can get a huge amount of land, a huge home if you go to Texas. It's like going to Atlanta or any southern states, right? New York City is the second or the first, or I know it's in the top two along with Los Angeles as the most expensive city in the United States. Hell, maybe even the world. But he says here that capital markets are realizing that the place to be is Texas. Says here that the stock exchange plans to launch in 2026 and recently announced several key hires for its exchange trade product businesses. The financial industry's leading companies are also working increase their presence in the Lone Star State. Now, New York Stock Exchange announced in February it would relocate its Chicago operations to Texas. NASDAQ announced that it will open a regional headquarters in Dallas. NASDAQ is deeply ingrained in the fabric of the Texas economy. And I'm reading a quote here. It says, "And we look forward to maintaining our leadership as the partner of choice for the state's most innovative companies." It's what the CEO of NASDAQ had recently said in a press release. Trading at most major stock exchanges around the world, include the NYSE and the NASDAQ, is done also entirely electronically. Now, stocks can trade on multiple exchanges in different locations, although they have one designated primary listing. Oh, check this out. Another rival that's similar, that's doing kind of what Texas is doing, is Delaware as a legal home to major companies toting a more business-friendly legal environment. Delaware is not that bad either. Not too much. I mean, you have a casino in Delaware. You got two universities, if I'm not mistaken, in Delaware. You're not far from Philadelphia, you're not far from New York. I mean, it's Delaware is not that bad. Another affordable, that's Biden state right there, Delaware. Let's see here. Any more things I want to add on to this? I think it's interesting. I think just now in general, people are looking to more, especially corporations are looking to more affordable routes that will be more bang for their buck. I think New York, as much as I love the city, I think it's very compact, and they, eventually people are stacked up like a bunch of sardines, and it's too expensive. The concrete jungles is way too expensive. Texas has land. Texas has a little bit of city as well. I mean, you get the best of both worlds. You get, like I mentioned, you get great weather, great entertainment, everybody, and if all of Silicon Valley is moving to Texas, obviously it's gonna catch the attention of Wall Street, right? They want to go where the money's at. So I don't see this being, I don't see it being a bad thing. Obviously, look, I'm in Virginia, so I'm kind of like, hey, it doesn't really affect me. I'm not into stocks. I will bring on an expert that can explain stocks better, because I'm just not a gambler like that. When I talk to folks, I'll be like, okay, so when you invest in this and it goes up like this price, do you take it out? Oh, no, you gotta let it sit. It's gonna keep on. I'm like, I just need because what if I see it big at one point and then it just never goes back down? Like, to me, it's all like it's a who's who or kind of thing. I'm like back and forth with the whole stock market, but it will be interesting. It will be interesting as I digress from this story. So many, as I mentioned, so many corporations have said they're going to be moving to Texas. I know KFC, which I thought was pretty interesting. KFC announced that they were going to be heading to Texas, which I'm like, why would your name KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken? Why is Kentucky Fried Chicken going to be moving to Texas? Shouldn't you stay in Kentucky? I'm like, that's just me. KFC. Let's see here. if I can pull the article real quickly. Okay, again, back to CNBC. So yeah, they're moving their U.S. headquarters from Kentucky to Texas. I'm very curious, but let me just try and read it very, very quickly because I'm looking at my time. Fried chicken chain will be moving to from Louisville to Plano, Texas. About 100 KFC employees will acquire to relocate in the next 6 months. The relocation is part of Yum's broader plan to have 2 corporate headquarters one in Plano, the other in Irvine. The other one in Irvine, California. I thought that was in Irvine, Texas too. But KFC and Pizza Hut's global teams are already based in Plano, while while Taco Bell and Habit Burger and Grill's teams are located in Irvine. Now, additionally, Yum's U.S. remote workforce, roughly 90 workers, will also be asked to move to the campus where they work in the base. Yeah, I think it's interesting. The company, okay, plans to maintain corporate offices in Louisville, so they're not fully Louisville, but they do plan to still keep offices in Louisville. You got to have something in Texas, like you still got to have your plant in Texas. You got to still stay in Texas. I mean, not in Texas, in Kentucky. Like it just to me, that's just you should change your name then if you're gonna move everything, move all of Kentucky Fried Chicken headquarters to Texas. You might as well be TFC. Texas Fried Chicken? Nah, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. I bet you the Colonel man just rolling his grave like, y'all leaving what? Y'all leaving Kentucky? Shoot, Mitch McConnell probably like, for those who listen, did you get that joke? Because I was like, I kind of paused. That was a Mitch McConnell joke. No? All right. I'll work on that a little more. But yeah. So again, so many businesses, a lot of people are leaving Texas. But I feel like eventually, if everybody wants to move to Texas, then eventually Texas is gonna be like saying, we ain't got no more room. Y'all gotta go somewhere else. Go next door, go to Louisiana, go to Carolinas, go somewhere. We ain't got no more room for you. We just don't have no more room. But that's me. That's me. I think whenever there's a fan favorite city or state that is like on the rise, eventually it's like, okay, you might want to get in while it's too late before you start getting too filled. Because even in my hometown, even in the Hampton Roads area in Virginia, like Norfolk is a premier city. Virginia Beach is obviously a touristy city. Chesapeake, not really touristy, but is growing, right? They're building so many luxury apartment complexes, neighborhoods, this and that and the other. It's so much, and it's like, whoa, do we eventually have enough space for it? You know, Suffolk, Virginia. There's so many other parts that is quite that's starting to really build up and get packed with stuff. So we will see, my friends. We will see. And I'm looking at my time, y'all. As always, look, this is when you're having fun, you lose track of time. So I appreciate y'all staying with me. Continue on this great conversation. I hope y'all had a great time, and continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. We tune in Monday through Friday, weeknights, Monday through Fridays, available on all digital and streaming platforms. Download the GOATverse TV app today. As I mentioned, the 4 ways you can download it: App Store, Google Play Store, Amazon Fire, or Roku. Free 99, free. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, all social media platforms, YouTube, Rumble, and wherever you listen to your podcast. Peace and blessings. I will see you next time. Your boys out.